Good morning and welcome once again. In today's video, we're trying to illustrate or explain how best you can get your armhole, your neckline, your crouch, and your shoulder slanting. These areas are the areas you need to know very well to enable you have a unique outfit. So in this our advanced learning, we want to explain the issues of armhole, because the armhole is one major area that have been giving many people issues. So now, armhole, the way I do my armhole is your chest line measurements over 4. First and foremost, there are two types of armhole. We have two types of armhole: armhole for short sleeve and armhole for long sleeve. So these two types of outfits, short sleeve and long sleeve, the armholes are not the same. So how do you now differentiate the both? Now you also use a similar formula for it. Now chest over 4 is the formula for a short sleeve. Now when you use your chest measurement by 4, for example, let's use chest 40. Now let's use chest 40 to give armhole of short sleeve and long sleeve. Now for short sleeve, you are going to have 40 over 4, which is 10. So 10 is my armhole for chest of 40. Now for armhole of chest of 40 for long sleeve, we give us chest over 4 minus 1, meaning 40 over 4 minus 1, giving us 9. So the armhole of a long sleeve is more fitted than the short sleeve. Now in some cases whereby you are making a short sleeve and the client is requiring for a fitted outfit, you are allowed to minus half from this. So in this case now, you're not going to have 9.5 for your armhole of short sleeve. That's if he called for a fitted outfit. But if it's a normal regular sewing, 40 over 4, use 10 for the armhole. Now your slanting inclusive inside the 10. Now this formula is what you're going to use to derive all your armholes. Now when you have that formula, at heart, now you don't have issues of any chest line. Now let me also as well go deep in other chest line measurements. Now when you have a chest line of let's say 44 for a short sleeve, it's going to be 44 over 4, going to give us 11. So armhole of 44 chest is 11 for short sleeve. Then for long sleeve is 44 over 4 minus 1, that's 10. So this formula is what you use for every armhole. It works for both a grown-up and a child, a kid. So the areas, the armhole, the chest measurement you have is what you are going to use to derive your armhole. So when you have gotten this known, now the next thing I want to as well explain is the neckline. Now the neckline is the neck circumference measurement. Now let's assume we have a neckline of 16. And I told us that in my previous videos that we have a value, a number, we divide your neckline with. Now the neckline division, we use 6. Now how do we arrive at 6? Now we have a formula for the circumference of a circle. For those of us that did maths, now the formula is giving us 2 pi r. Now this pi is a German symbol, which means 22 over 7. So when you do your calculation very well, you will have your 2 times 22 over 7 r, making r your SF. Now 22 is over 7 will give us 3.142. Now times by 2, you have 6.248. Now when you round up to the natural number, rounding up 8 to 4, you have 6.25. Rounding up 5 to 3 to 2, you have 6.3. Now 3 is not significant enough, so you ignore 3, pick 6. So that's how we got our 6 to be the factor you use to divide your neck. So in neck division, you use 6 to divide your neck. So whatever your neck is, so for example now I have neck of 16. 16 divided by 6, you get a value. It will give you 2.642. Now this 2.642 is giving us. Now you are not going to use the whole value in cutting. Bear in mind that you have not divided yet, you have not sewn yet. The answer you are getting is going to give us sorry, 2.66, sorry, yeah, 2.66, 2.66. That's if you approximate, you are going to have 2.67. So the answer is giving you is for the finishing. Now you're not going to use this in cutting. You're going to reduce a bit before you cut. Now, how do you reduce? The inch you use to sew your neckline as the facing is what you're going to reduce with. Because if you use this to cut, by the time you sew, it will not be more than the neckline of 16. So what I normally do is, since I have 2.67 now, that's in approximation 2.7, you minus 0.3 from it, that's less than half an inch. Now you are going to have 2.4. So in cutting, you have to use 2.4 to cut. Bear in mind that the answer you get in division is for the widthwise measurement. Now this is your ass feet. Now you are going to cut your neck, so it means that from this point you have to measure 2.4 widthwise. Now you have to add 0.5 to that 2.4 to get your depth measurement. Now 2.4 plus 2.5 and 0.5 is giving us 2.9. So you measure from here 2.9 downwards. With the help of your neckline curve, you make your neck curve. So this is the way you will use to derive a perfect neckline. So after sewing, it will now run back to 2.67 in your final division you got. Now that's for the neckline explanation. Now the next one I want to explain, because these areas I'm explaining now are the areas we will have to meet in cutting processes. Now the next one I'm going to explain now is the crouch. Now the crouch is the one particular part of the trouser that is very important. The crouch should not be too saggy, it should not be too tight. Now when you have to get your crouch, the crouch should not be it should not give you allowance at the downside, neither should it be too tight. So how do you get a perfect crouch? There are a lot of formulas out there which you can lay your hands on, but my own formula is giving me hips over 4. Now some will tell you hips over 4 minus 1. Yes, it holds. But now my own formula I'm going to use to teach in this class is hips over 4. Now whenever you're going to do your hips over 4, you have to consider two things. Your shoulder length. If the person is tall, you use hip over 4. If he's not tall, that's when you now use your minus 1. Now there is as well another formula which they say quarter of your shoulder length. That's your shoulder length divided by 4. The first quarter of the crouch. It holds, but for people that are fat or big, it won't be ideal for them. Now in this formula I'm going to use hip over 4. No minus 1 if he's tall, but if he's not tall, you minus 1 from it, or half. Now let's say we are having a hip line of, let's use 48. Now 48 is my hip line. Now divided by 4, you have 12. Now assuming that the shoulder length, that the TL is let's say 42. Now for this person, I'm allowed to use 12. But if the shoulder length is, let's say, 40, I will not use 12 because it will be too much for him. So I will now have to minus either half or 1. So for this particular hip line, if I'm working for shoulder length of 40, I'm going to use 11 for the crouch. So I have minus 1 from the 40 and 40 over 4. I'm now using 11 for the crouch. So this 11 now will not be precise or ideal for hip line of 48 with a shoulder length of 40. But hip line of 48 with shoulder length of 42, you use 12. So that's for the crouch termination. This is the same process you use in both outdoors and kids. So now, after that area, the next area I want to touch on is our shoulder slant. Now shoulder slanting is one particular area that it affects the fitting of our outfit, and as well it affects our armhole. Now slanting ranges from 2 to 3.5, that's 3.5. Now whatever you want to slant with, there's no problem, but make sure that you find the best option that is fitting for you. So I do encourage slanting by 2 inches to 2.5 maximum, that's 2.5 maximum. Now these 2 inches and 2.5 for adults are the maximum I use in slanting, and when it comes for kids, I use 1 inch to 1.5. Most times I use 2. So in kids, either you use 1 inch, 1.5, or 2. Now 2 should be an adolescent, maybe probably 15 to 16 years or 12 to 15 years. So one inch, 1.5 or 2 inches are the inch you use to slant for kids. But for a grown-up adult, 2 inches or 2.5. Now I will show you how this works when you're slanting. So these vital areas, the armhole, the neck, and the crotch, and the shoulder slanting, are the areas I want you to be abreast with before we go into the cutting process very well. So this video will help us to understand these areas properly, and as well you make your own calculations, the measurements you have, and you see the uniqueness it's giving us. And what I want to encourage is that whatever you use in making an outfit, try to jot it down, so in subsequent sewing you know if you're going to increase or you're going to reduce on your adjustments. Thank you for watching.